What's up,
Me too.
guys? Welcome back to Digital Dive-In. My name is Monkey.
And I'm Goofball.
I'm here playing Assassin's Creed, doing our first impressions of this latest installment in the Assassin's Creed universe.
And I am not playing it because I'm not buying it because it's not Assassin's Creed.
Exactly. That's essentially both of our thoughts about the game as well. Now, I'm not super far into the game, but I am far enough that I have a general understanding of what the story is and how the game is going to play for the next 60 plus hours of what we got going here.
And I'm just going to assume it's Origins Part 2.
Yeah. Phil over here has played all the Assassin's Creed games. While
All the other Assassin's Creed. Well,
Yeah.
actually, yes. All the Assassin's Creed games.
Exactly. He and I are both really big fans of the series. In fact, Assassin's Creed is my favorite game franchise of all time.
It's in my top 5. I'll
And
give it that.
yeah, and for that reason, I am so disappointed. I'm not angry.
Yeah,
I'm just
I'm-
disappointed.
Like, it just seems like Ubisoft has kind of lost its direction with Assassin's Creed. Before, you followed the Ezio timeline, and that was cool because it was like back in time, and you're building up this Assassin's Brotherhood. And then it went to North America, and was kind of weird, where you just kind of
Well,
like you're a Native American.
up until now, they've been pretty, good with the timelines and pairing the modern day story to the, history. They've been really good with that up until now. Up until actually Assassin's Creed Black Flag, they've been really good with that. Black Flag, they started doing a bunch of weird stuff with the modern day story, and it just kind of went weird and wonky, and I don't know. And this story, like, they started doing the real modern day story again with Origins, and I enjoyed that a lot. I thought that was awesome. And this game already continues the story from Assassin's Creed Origins, but they started off super light in the beginning.
That's fine though, because whenever I played Assassin's Creed, I would hate it when they pulled me out and made me walk around in modern era.
See,
I
I
was
actually
like, yeah,
love
it's
I love
cool,
that. I love that though. I
I-
thought that was great because, like, it all started with Desmond's story.
Yeah, and they were tapping into his memories and
Exactly.
his genetics.
So now,
and being
when they got rid of that, it was just kind of like, okay, so how does this work now? Like that, and that's why they branched off and started trying out new things with you being the hero and the assassin still being around or something like that. I don't know. It was super weird for the longest time. But then they introduced Lila Hassan, who is a Templar, or not Templar. She was working for Abstergo, and then
Yeah.
Abstergo tried to kill her and shit, and now we are here. But anyways, this game continues the modern day story directly from, somewhat directly from Origins. So at least there's that, and I haven't seen anything else in terms of the modern day story as of yet. So I don't know how much of a modern day story there is going to be, but at least it's there a little bit. Everyone and their brother has been doing reviews for this game, and all the big video game media outlets have been calling it the best game in the franchise. And
Well, every game's gonna be the best game in the franchise if it's brand new.
exactly, right? And I think that's bullshit.
It's honestly a broken record.
It is. It is. Like, the latest Call of Duty, they're going to call it the best in the franchise. The next Battlefield, they're going to call it best in the franchise. And
Yeah,
it's just like, your words have no meaning anymore. Congratulations.
like, we know that you're liars.
Yeah. But, I mean,
Played.
I do have to say this. In terms of, well, actually, no, I can't even say anything about the best in the franchise because nothing about this game makes it the best in the franchise. It is the most RPG of the franchise. If that makes
Which
it
is
the
cool.
best, then okay. But
But ow.
yeah,
Like
they
I mean,
definitely,
to be fair, we are seeing society kind of lean more towards RPG games,
yeah,
which
and that's
I'm
totally fine.
100% down with.
Oh hell yeah!
like, I love
Like this
RPG
game,
games.
Assassin's Creed definitely evolved with Origins and Odyssey to become an historical RPG rather than a historical action game. And I'm all for that.
Okay.
I'm definitely all for that. At the same time, I feel like in the quest to make Assassin's Creed more RPG, they lost what Assassin's Creed was.
Yeah,
If
and
that
that's
makes
the
sense.
worst part.
It is. It
No,
sucks.
it makes perfect sense. Like you're really not even an assassin anymore. Like in Origins, yeah, it was a stretch, but you were.
Yeah.
Watching trailers for Odysseys, I've never seen a Spartan be quiet.
Right? Exactly.
When I think Spartan, I think shield wall, screaming,
Exactly. You think
not messing
300.
stuff up.
You think 300.
Exactly. So now it's like,
Really?
kind of
Are
a
you
weird
sure?
balance, I guess.
No, I 100% agree with that. And that's one of the things that I don't like about it, because when we're talking about gameplay here, right? Assassin's Creed game should be focused on stealth. It should be focused on like a solid combat system, and everything should work.
A combat
you know?
system that's designed to be like partnered with stealth. Like
Exactly. It should
an
be quick.
assassin
It should
shouldn't
be
able to take on 10 heavies at once.
no.
But they
Your
should
combat
be
should
able to
be
sneak around and mess them up. Like
yeah. If you run into an issue, you should be able to take him out quickly and quietly as much as you can. But in
or
this game,
disappeared.
yeah. But in this game, that's not the case whatsoever. Like the combat, they tried to give us what we had in Assassin's Creed Origins. Like honestly, the combat feels very, very similar to Origins, and I mean, again, not at all surprised by that. But
Well, even with the amount of time it took for them to bring the game out, I kind of had a feeling like, with how rushed this feels,
oh,
I feel
it
like
does.
it's just going to be a copy and paste.
It feels insanely rushed, and like
I know, and that's so sad. Like, I expect so much from an Assassin's Creed game and Ubisoft because they put out some gold in history.
yeah, hell yeah, they do. They come out with some killer games. Like games
Yeah,
that
so
are
now
honestly
it's
like
like,
some of the
what happened?
best I've ever played. Like Assassin's Creed 2 is one of the best games I've ever played. The gameplay in general is almost identical to Origins. The combat is actually, I feel like the combat is its weakest part in this game. And that's really, really disappointing because you're playing as a frickin' Spartan. The
Yeah,
combat
you
should be immaculate. The combat should be amazing.
It honestly should be one of the most aggressive and capable players that you can be in the Assassin's Creed
Hell
timeline.
yeah.
Spartan's life was solely revolving around combat.
Being a
So,
warrior.
If it's not the most badass assassin, end quote, in the series, they're kind of messing up.
Yeah, exactly. Like the combat in this one, you get a lot of like the RPG combat you got in Origins, which is great. I actually love the revamped combat system for Origins. I thought that was very much needed. But in this one, they added a very weird parry move that like you have to hit both of the bumpers to do this move first of all, and then like you would think that the parry window would be fairly short, as like it's basically their counter. It opens the door for you to do like a slow motion counter, but there is a huge window to do that move, and it's like what?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
And it's so weird. It's so awkward. And half the time when you hit both triggers and you enter that parry state, half the time it doesn't even work. Because you either do it too early and then the people just don't attack, or you do it too late and it doesn't count. So it's like, what the fuck? It's so infuriating.
Yeah, it sounds aggravating.
Another thing I have to mention is the movement gameplay in this game. In the past games, like, your standard was walking, basically. They changed it and made it so you were always running and you only had to press a certain button to free roam. And that's fine. That actually makes the gameplay and everything a lot smoother. But at the same time, now there's no option to run even faster than you could originally. You're always running, and that's the max that you can run at, no matter what. And it's like, oh well, shit, okay. And there's just no way to change it at all.
Yeah, that sucks.
So it's like, okay,
It
yeah,
is
it's
very
really annoying. And
disappointing.
it's the same with the horse too. The horse is exactly the same way. Like the horse is always going at top speed no matter what. But around certain areas, it'll start to just walk and trot, and there's no way to make him go faster. It's like, excuse me, I need to go faster, please. I'm trying to outrun these fuckers. It's
Yeah,
like,
that'd be pretty aggravating.
oh my god, it's so aggravating. Like, I don't think I've ever had anything like this before. Like, not being able to sprint, not being able to do anything quickly is just so annoying.
Yeah, I would get tired of that pretty quick.
One more part of the gameplay I have to mention, going back to the combat real quickly, the lock-on mechanism they have is somewhat like Origins, but slightly altered a little bit because now they have, like, you can lock on to enemies and you can quickly swap who you're locked onto by flipping the right analog stick. However, when you are locked on, you cannot move your camera at all. And if you move that right analog stick, you automatically swap who you're locked onto.
Yeah, that wouldn't work for me.
Exactly. Like, I like to be able to look around, even if I'm already locked onto someone. Like, all my attacks would be geared toward that person. But if I want to look behind me to see if someone's coming up behind me trying to kill me, I can't do that because I'm going to lock onto someone else on the battlefield. And it messes me up.
Does it have a notification system? Like, where it has the little red arrow that they used to do?
It's still, like, I like to be able to see the person who's about to attack me so I can be sure and where they are.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, I want to know if they're attacking me, but they're 5 feet away or literally in the swing right now. Yeah, that is a little aggravating.
I felt like they tried to, like, forcibly make this game different than Assassin's Creed Origins, but to do that they had to change all of the things that made Origins good.
See, I wish, and I hope this is something that Ubisoft considers, letting the Assassin's Creed franchise go. Like, if they're gonna do these games, either market it as a different version. Like, you had mentioned something about the first Civilization games. Like, that would be cool. Kind of focusing on a different view. At the same time, like, why not just make it a historical documentary game? Like, yeah, like, it just is an RPG. It sets you into a different time frame. You play as a character from that time zone and that era.
That's it.
And you just learn about it. Because one of the things Origins did that really jumped out to me more than any of the gameplay or anything of that nature was when they let you turn off all enemies and just explore.
Yeah, that was really dope. I enjoyed that a lot. I thought that was a really cool feature.
And they put so much effort into developing the actual historical accuracy of what they were putting out. And it made me think, you know, this would actually be a really good game. Like,
they added that in this game as well, where you can just, you know, take a guided tour around ancient Greece, and I think that's really dope. Now, the one thing I have to mention is that the story is honestly pretty damn good. Like, the story is honestly probably the best part about this game.
Yeah, that's one thing that Ubisoft has always been really good at, developing the stories.
Yeah.
Like,
At the same
there's never
time,
been an Assassin's Creed game that I played, and the story just left me like, oh, that was boring.
Well, Unity was that for me. And slightly Syndicate.
Unity was supposed to be their multiplayer attempt. I don't even consider that.
That was
like an attempt at a story.
T-rash.
It was bad. That was terrible.
The story for this one so far is pretty good. And it's intriguing. It has some mystery thrown in there, and I'm all for that. I think that's pretty dope. But that is the best thing about this game. And like you mentioned before, or like I mentioned that you mentioned before, about remarketing or rebranding the series as like Legends of the First Civilization or something like that, or First Civilization Chronicles. That would have been really dope, especially for this game, because this game basically takes what Origins did with the Isu artifacts and the First Civilization tie-ins and like upped it to 20. So if you're into that kind of stuff, if you're into like the First Civilization aspects of the old school Assassin's Creed games and Origins, then you're gonna love this game. Exactly what this game ties into. That's not the whole point about this game, but it's the biggest point about this game.
That's a pretty
So
big point.
I gotta give it that. But if you're looking for a game that's going to further the Assassin storyline and everything, you're not gonna find it here, honestly. And I'm just kind of bummed about that.
Yeah, that's rough. Well, Assassin's Creed has had a really good run. This is the beginning of the end, which it kind of feels to me like it is. We're gonna have a lot of good memories. The Ezio collection is still gonna be, I think, on the top of many people's lists when it comes to what games they want to play.
I
got that going
agree.
for them, but
I don't know.
I guess
everyone's been calling this like the best game in the series, and like it's not even the best game in terms of gameplay, honestly. Like they need to go back to the Origins gameplay because that was perfect. Like they gotta get rid of this pairing system. They gotta get rid of this. They gotta improve the stealth in this game first of all, because oh my god, is it bullshit.
Yeah, they need to do that, or they need to come to the realization that stealth ain't a thing anymore. You're a Spartan. Give us an update that lets us go hard.
Right? Exactly. Okay. You're trying to make a Spartan be an assassin.
Yeah, it ain't
what?
gonna happen.
This game gives you the freedom to play however you want, because it is a very good RPG. That's the thing. It's a very good RPG game, but I almost have to force the game to be an Assassin's Creed game, and that's not what should be happening here. You shouldn't have to force a game to be what it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? That sounds confusing, but
No,
it's
it makes
true.
sense to me. Like, because of what the title is, Assassin's Creed, we expect assassin things, and
Yeah.
we're just not
In
getting
this
it.
game, with this game, like if you want to be an assassin, you can't be an assassin. And if you don't want to be, you don't have to be. But I mean, you probably should because it's an Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah,
Like,
not saying
what the
you don't
fuck
have
else
a
are you gonna?
choice here, but you
Right?
don't have a choice here.
Yeah.
You're an assassin.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
need to act like it, but you can't.
Start
'cause
acting
you're a
like it.
Spartan.
The game is fun on its own merit, but
Well,
that's
that's all that
just-
really matters, honestly. That's
Yeah.
the big part.
It's fun if you're just reviewing the game on its own merit. Yes, it's a decent game, but otherwise, it's not a good Assassin's Creed game. It's not an Assassin's Creed game at all. It's honestly just a mix between Assassin's Creed Origins and Black Flag.
Yeah, they're
And-
starting to lose the creativity. But that happens when you've been putting out a high product for such a long time. It's gonna fall off.
Yeah.
We've seen it with Halo. We've seen it with Gears of War. We've seen it with Killzone. I've seen
Yeah.
it with, there's just so many games where they start off at such a high level and then plummet.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people are going to say that they love this game. This is such a good game. And that's fine. It is a decent game on its own. But if you're trying
But
to tell
it's
me
not
it's
an
the best of the Assassin's Creed series, you're fucking lying. That or you've never played an Assassin's Creed game in your entire life.
Yeah, maybe if this is your first Assassin's Creed game, you'd be like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
But when you played them all, this one just don't cut it.
And I even ran into some like hardcore like texture glitches too when I first started this game. Like I was saying, texture popping, character texture poppings and everything. Oh, it was since the update. I haven't seen anything. They just released a patch of like yesterday, I think. So since then, I haven't had any issues with the graphics or the textures. But still, this game, honestly, they should have spent another year working on it to make it great.
Yeah.
And the fact
They
that they
rushed it.
didn't disappoints me a lot.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, whatever game, I know they said they're not going to release an Assassin's Creed in 2019.
Nope.
Even though
They're going to be focusing a lot on
doing-
DLC for this game.
And I just hope that they kind of take a minute and plan ahead
Yeah, I know
for
what you mean.
not just the next game, but the rest of the series.
I hope that the next Assassin's Creed game goes back to the Assassin's Creed roots. You know, actually being stealthy and being an assassin. God,
That
I
would be
miss those
nice.
days. Overall, this game is honestly, if you played Origins, you've played this game. But if you want to see an Origins reskin in Ancient Greece, this is the game for you.
Well, I mean, there's so many good things they could still do with the game. I think the title itself should probably find its way into the history books.
Yeah, I agree. But we'll have to see what actually happens with this series, whether or not they decide to rebrand the series, or like I think they're just going to keep on going with Assassin's Creed and keep it going from there,
Yeah, I mean, they
which
got
is
a
a little bit disappointing. I just hope the next game continues off from Origins and not, you know, keeps on going back and back and back in time. Like,
go really
it's
far
messing
back
up the
and we find
timeline.
out that Adam was an assassin and Eve was a Templar. That's why they didn't get along.
There you go. Oh my
Like,
god.
let's go back that far, and then
Go from there.
we'll look at-
Assassin's,
we'll go from there.
Assassin's Creed Primal. That's like Far
Oh,
Cry
Jesus.
Primal.
Never mind.
Ugh.
Yeah, never mind.
But anyways, guys, we want to know your thoughts about the latest Assassin's Creed game that's out, Odyssey. Let us know if you are playing it or if you're thinking about playing it. Also, let us know who you picked, Alexios or Cassandra. I honestly like Cassandra a lot better because Alexios is fucking weird and goofy as shit. But that's just my own personal opinion. Guys, let us know your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you like this video, please slam that like button.
Super Slam!
If you're new to the channel and you want to see more of us giving our first impressions of the latest games releasing or diving into the news about TV, video games, and movies, please hit the subscribe button and hit that bell so you get notified whenever our videos go live. Phil, thank you so much for, again, doing this review for the latest Assassin's Creed game.
And thank you for having me.
Ladies and gents, stay excellent, and we'll see you in the next dive-in.